Look at those mountains with the sun just coming up over them. What a gorgeous start to the day. We have a bit of a mission today. And that mission is to kick off adventure season right here in the area of Shirakawago and do some exploration. Hope everybody's doing well. Whether you're watching live or whether you're watching in the replay, do me a favor, either leave something in the chat or in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from, what time it is, and what you... Good morning, everybody. I hope you are well. And John Lupin kicking off the super chat ball there. Thank you so much. And good morning. Welcome to Shirakawa-go, everybody. Let's make it a good one. There's a sign here. We're going to start here. And a reactant in here with a super chat saying, hey, no, I'm really glad to see you doing an early morning adventure again. For everybody watching, remember to hit that like button. Reactant, thank you so much for that. I actually slept up here in a camper van. That's right, I camped out in Shirakawa-go last night. And today, we're gonna explore the area. So here we go. Got people watching from all over the place. And Tim, thank you so much for keeping that super chat ball rolling. There's a lot to see here this morning. And I have a little bit of an adventure buddy. An adventure buddy who's still sleeping. Let's start by taking a look at this little space right here. The creeks, the canals here are spectacular. This is known as being one of the cleanest places in all of Japan. And I'll be showing you guys a little bit more of that later. I also vastly miscalculated the temperature difference between here and Tokyo and what I would need for that. So I'm most certainly underdressed this morning. I'm warm enough, but right now it is 5 o'clock in the morning and it is just over 5 degrees Celsius. And Elaine Sparkle Monkey in there with that money there for chicken every single time. How have you been? Hope you're doing well. Last time we got to hang out, we did a bit of a rooftop adventure together in Tokyo and it was fantastic. And we've got just a tiny little bit of clouds right out there in the mountains. I was low-key hoping that we'd be able to wake up and get an unkai, or a sea of clouds, a cloud inversion this morning. And we weren't able to, which is great because look at the beautiful blue skies that we have. We have absolutely no clouds this morning. Got nothing. It is just gorgeous out. But look at this. Look at this. And chat ball rolling as well, saying good morning, Norm. Hope you're well. Can you make Ryan's day and wish him a happy birthday, please? Here's a little something for your hunger fund. Absolutely, I can do that. Ryan, good morning specifically to you and happy birthday. A huge thanks to you and Art from the heart for the kindness of using a super chat to point something like that out. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Annette Anderson in there, keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, for some coffee. Thank you. Thank you for that, Annette. Super appreciate it. So adventure season is upon us. It is that time. It is time for adventure season to kick off. And today is that live stream. Today's the live stream that is going to be kicking off all of adventure season for this year. The time of year is here, the weather is here, everything that we need to do Japan-wide adventures has come, and this is how we're kicking it off. Night Denizen in here, keeping that super chat ball rolling as well, saying good morning. Thank you for sharing this beautiful view through on my afternoon. Well, thank you. Take just a second to appreciate these flowers and this view right here. Look at that. And Eva-chan, I see you in there asking if your super chat went through. I don't see one, but I will give you a special good morning for always being here and saying thank you very much. It's nice. I was actually expecting it to be much more crowded already. I am very aware that it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so there's only so many again, almost every quite a bit of tourism. I did miss it. Thank you, Tim. I caught that. Thank you so much. And Eva-chan in here also. Montreal Norm for your coffee. Gotcha, Eva-chan. Thank you so much. How is our connection this morning? How is the video? How is the audio? Is everything looking okay? It seems to be doing all right over on my end. Let me know how things are on your end. And a very kind and generous super chat here from Chris Lessard saying, Ohio Norm, I wish I could watch this live, but I have some work meetings, so I just want to say appreciate what you do. So many of us have wanted to come to Japan and couldn't for some time. Thank you. As you know, especially you, Chris, because you've been with the channel for some time. You know, this is 100% why we're here. It's why we're doing Tokyo Lens Explorer. So it seems like it's a little laggy. The audio. Unfortunately, as you may notice, we are completely surrounded by mountains right now. And so it kind of limits what we have in terms of connection. We do have full bars of 4G though. But if the audio is good, we'll keep going. And I will tell you guys the story of Shirakawago. So, Shirakawago, this village that we are in now, is known to be the village blue. Whatever is that? What could that possibly mean? Well, you see, in Japan, they'll often, if you didn't already know this, in Japan they often mix up the words for blue and green. So, a green light, for example, would be ao shingo. A blue light. They actually call green lights a blue light. And since this village is surrounded and covered in green, it is known as the village of blue. Actually, guys, I just made that entire thing up. This is not the village of blue. Last time I did that, I think, was when we were out exploring the area of Beppu, and I said that Beppu was Japan's newest town, established in the year 1998, and I think I went on with that for some time. There's at least 1 or 2 people in the comments who are very, very displeased. They're like, I Wikipedia this, and it's not true. No, it's not true. It's not true, but look at this area over here. And Pied Piper keeping that super chat ball rolling as well. I love how beautiful it is. Excited to travel to Japan next year since I can't travel right now with my newborn. Well, congratulations on the newborn. That is fantastic news to hear. Very excited for you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Rowan in here as well. Or temples here. Well, we will explore and we will find what we can. This is one of the areas of Japan that actually has a little bit less in terms of available shrines and temples and whatnot. But we're going to explore the area in depth this morning so that we can find the area of blue. And John Manning, John, good morning, my man. How you doing? Thank you so much for that super chat. Saying, looks magnificent. I wish I was there. At least you missed the Kanto quakes last night. Wow, there were earthquakes in Kanto last night. In order to get out here, I came out in a camper van and did something like, 8 hours total of time on the road if I include the stops. So it was not fantastic, but it was a drive. It was a drive to say the least. Hope everyone in Kanto is good after the earthquakes. Also, ACM and everybody else in the chat. I see Daniel and Yuka in here as well. We've been recently talking about a community of live streamers in Japan who have been really taking the time to go out and explore and show everywhere from Tokyo to other places and beyond. And in one of my recent streams, I sent people out to go check out some other live streamers, see who was around, who was available, and I got the chat to search for other streamers who were streaming at that time. Now, unfortunately, at 5 o'clock in the morning, we're very unlikely to have a whole bunch of other streamers out and about streaming. But at least we have Shirakawa-go here. And this is actually one of my favorite spots in the entire area. I feel like the connection has probably picked up a little bit. I hope it has. The more central we get, the better connection we should have. So let me know how things are looking now. I love this little walkway. Don't enter here. They don't want you walking in here. Australians will also tell you to avoid tall grass. How's it looking though? I'm glad at least we have good audio. Slightly choppy live streams can be forgiven. Choppy audio tends to make things a little bit better. Connection seems to be picking up quite a bit. If you haven't done so already, let's gamify things. What is the next major like milestone we need to get to? And do you think we can get there in the next minute? This little wooden walkway here is very central in the village, and it is one of my favorite things. And Jeffrey Samuel in here saying talking about stream raids. Yes, I recently learned, and thanks to the Patreon crew who shared it with me over on Discord, that there is ways for me to send people, hello little birds. There are ways for me to send people directly to other people's streams through YouTube stream raids. And we have these peaceful little guys right here. And just as I got them in the shot, they left me. They've abandoned us. Okay, let's go wide. Wide. And Josh Stark keeping that super chat ball rolling. Josh, thank you so much for that. Saying, dude, I'm at work right now, but I wanted to stick my head in and say hi. Gorgeous village. Always love your hikes. Thank you so much for that, Josh. Appreciate you always being here. This this is the start. So as I said, I drove out here in a camper van last night. My camper van is actually parked up at the top of this hill here, along with my adventure guest for this time. My adventure guest is still sleeping because we didn't get into the area until something like 1 o'clock in the morning. And we finally got things set and ready to sleep around 1:30, and then I woke up at 4:30 for this live stream. So that's a solid 3 hours. I think that's fine. Science will tell you that 3 hours of sleep is probably fine. But I was very, very excited to get up and do this stream today to kick things off, to kick off adventure season and make the best of it. And the color 12 is saying, is it near the observation point? Yes, there's an observation point there with 24-hour access that you can actually, I guess, sleep in. And it's not uncommon to see people's cars there. And when we rocked up, amazingly though, there was only one other car. This view right here, let me show you guys this. This view right here with the moon. There we go. And Ryan is in here keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, got to split from work to pick up my girlfriend from the train and start the birthday celebrations. There you are, Ryan. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. And thanks again for the wishes, Art. That is fantastic. Well, honestly, a huge happy birthday to you. And thank you for I love when you guys use those little super chats to like speak to each other and give a little bit of gratitude. And I get to use your gratitude and put it out in my voice to everybody and share that. So Ryan, a huge, massive happy birthday to you. I hope it is a fantastic day. Thank you so much. Get out there, make the best of it. So we do have a travel buddy this time. Now this travel buddy is not from Japan, and they have not yet been in one of my videos before. Can anybody guess in the chat, or if you're watching later in the comments, who I am traveling with this time? Look at these mountains. That view right there of the mountains is actually a little more blown out than I was expecting, but it looks gorgeous. And Rowan in here saying, when will we be bringing Sherry Berry back? Yes, so it has been some time since I managed to get out to Shikoku, or since Sherry and I have managed to do some content together. But Sherry and I, last year, I think in the fall, we did a hidden adventure through Kyoto, going to shrines and hidden spots that otherwise wouldn't know about. Amazing, amazing hidden shrines out in Kyoto. We went deep into the mountains and made an entire adventure about that. That is up on TOKYOLENS if you want to check it out. Let's walk this way and check out what's back here. And Rick is in here with a very generous super chat saying, hey Norm, glad I could catch your live stream. My second one. Well, welcome. Thank you so much. Love all your content, especially your recent endeavors. I'm excited to see what you do next. P.S. Have you ever been called Stormin' Norman? So, growing up with the name Norm, or Norman, I'd say that Stormin' Norman was one of the things that I got called a lot as a kid. Like, a lot. That, and everyone would be like, oh, Norm, you know, from Cheers? Yes, I know. I'm aware of Cheers and the character that bears my name. So yes, I've been called Stormin' Norman. I've been called Norm, you know, from Cheers. Probably more times than I can count. But thank you very much. And walking down this way, I love I love always taking the most narrow path that we can find along the way. Look how peaceful this little scene right here is. So this particular guest, I'll give another hint. This particular guest is not from Japan and has not yet been in my content. So for Patreon viewers, for example, you guys will know that like Natsuki and I from the Abroad in Japan channel, Natsuki and I did an entire video together that is available on the Patreon side of things, along with all the other fun little things that we do there. So it's not Natsuki. I have done videos with Natsuki before. This particular guest is not from North America either. That's your next hint. This particular guest is not from North America, and we have not had a chance to do content together yet. There are the hints that you will get for now. If you have any ideas, drop it in the comments below. Got some water over here. Truly a gorgeous morning to be out and about on this walk. We got a big fancy mirror here. I kind of want to get one of these mirrors for the studio. I don't know why, but I want it with the orange pole and everything. Orange pole and the giant mirror. And Natsukashi story in here, keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying thank you for always bringing us along on the best adventures. Well, if you are new to today's stream, or if you are new to the TOKYOLENS Explore channel as a whole, do me a favor first off and just give that like button some love. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. This is the kickoff to adventure season. The weather has gotten warm, things have gotten green. It is that time of year again where we get to go out and do our adventures, do our streams. We are going to be kicking off a massive live stream adventure at the beginning of summer. And for anybody who's brand new to the channel, one of the ways that we do these live stream adventures is we hit up as many places across Japan as we can, doing live streams nearly every single day if possible. And as we do that, we use each stream to kind of fund the next leg of the adventure, to get us to the next place and to fund future adventures. And so this channel is entirely built and supported by you guys so that we can go from place to place to place and do these. One of my favorites was all put together into one giant video. All the live streams from our last major adventure are still right here on the available for replay on the channel, but there's also a big video that puts them all together over on TOKYOLENS. It's got a shot of me hanging out of a camper van speeding down the road. Such a dangerous photo, and you guys can watch that one. It's one of my favorite streams ever. And another awesome and very generous super chat here from ACM1985, who has been with the channel, both TOKYOLENS and TOKYOLENS Explorer, for honestly as long as I can remember. Like, we've been doing hangouts and chats and streams and always been active, always been kind. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to read out this super chat. It says, enjoying this stream and glad I found Yuka during your last one. Well, thanks so much. Yeah, as I mentioned, I did like a mini YouTube raid thing, and I asked the chat to go find some other streamers, and we found a whole bunch of people who were streaming at the time. I think we came across Tokyo Paul, who streams really often, and he's got great energy. We came across With Me Japan, which is Yuka, who I don't think streams as often but puts a lot of heart into her streams. And then we came across Drew from Totally Drew, who always puts in so much love, energy, and heart into everything that he does. And it just turned out that both Drew and Yuka were streaming at that time, and people went out to check out their streams. So I'm glad that you enjoyed that. I encouraged everybody to go over and say that, you know, they came from TOKYOLENS' stream and that they were excited to be there, join the chat and everything like that. And it seems I went over to the chats myself. I'm loving this here, by the way. I went over to the chats myself to see how many people would go over, and in every active stream that I found that day, and for a couple days after, I saw a bunch of you guys hanging out in the chats of other YouTubers who've been streaming. And that's the beauty of this entire thing, with so many people doing streams and adventures and videos in Japan right now. It is a non-stop flow of things for you guys to enjoy. So I'm glad that the chat was able to recommend some great channels that day. Again, if there are any others that you guys know about, any others that you guys enjoy who have been doing streaming and enjoying Japan and give people the opportunity to see it live, don't hesitate to let us know in the chat. And yes, there was a dude there. And Cicely, good morning to you too. Cancel, did I read that right? To you as well. And a reactant in here saying the Patreon has 67 bonus videos. Are we up to 67 already? Not to mention our secret Instagram with the random impromptu live streams that happen every so often, and little hangouts that we get to do, and the time that we get to spend together in the TOKYOLENS studio. So thank you so much. Welcome to the Patreon side of the adventure. Excited to have you there. And Aldo in here as well, keeping that super chat ball rolling with a super sticker. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. And Zengra saying, sorry, I didn't comment on the other channel last time. I couldn't find the channel. That is okay. We will continue to do live streams, and any live stream that I do that isn't at like a really weird time, I'm going to encourage people to go over and raid other people's channels, say hello, and just kind of make their day. Oh, look at this space right here. Look at this. Let's switch lenses. I want to punch in just a little more on this. Look at this space. Let's walk this a bit. Get a feel for it. I'm glad it is already starting to warm up a little bit. I have my watch on the wrong wrist right now. It is now officially 6 degrees. Go back to wide. And Luna in here saying, I'm sorry if it's not much. They were my last. Luna, thank you so much for taking the time to leave a super chat at all. I appreciate you. Big gratitude and love from me. Thank you so much for that. And I wonder how there will be a festival there. You know, that's one thing I've never looked into, is festivals in the area of Shirakawago. If anybody in the chat knows about any festivals in the area of Shirakawago, or if anybody from my mod squad knows anything about it, please drop it in. Also, I just want to give a few seconds to give huge love to the mod squad, who always takes care of everything in all these chats, who's always kind enough to drop in links for us, who highlights anytime that I happen to miss something. Massive love and appreciation to you guys. I enjoy our hangouts So, actually, I got to hang out with some of the mod squad quite recently at the TOKYOLENS studio in Akihabara, and the goal is to meet as many of you in person this year as possible. So, thank you. And the DM LOL in here keeping the super chat ball rolling, saying pre-plague. I was in Kyoto in September. A lot of renovations being done on the temples for the Olympics. Still, there's actually the Olympics may have been part of it, but also Kyoto is just constantly doing renovations on the temples that are there. And the color 12 in here is saying Shirakawago does winter illuminations, but not sure about festivals. Actually, the goal for the past 2 winters has been to get out to the area of Shirakawago during the winter and enjoy it. And not once have we managed to do that. And it looks like they've made little grasshoppers here out of straw. Look at that. Little straw hoppers. Got some still water here, which is going to be really fun for the mosquitoes. Come mosquito season. Let's take a look at the sign here. So rest area and toilet back here. And Shirakawa Hachiman Shrine is up on the right hand side. So let's go to the right. We'll head out this way. We've already got better quality and connection than our last Shirakawa-go stream. So I'm just grateful and happy for that. And because we're out here early enough in the morning, it's still quiet and we have the entire place to ourselves. Such a peaceful, nice place to walk in the morning. Again, it is considerably... Things have started to warm up in Tokyo lately. So when I checked the weather and I saw 6 degrees, I was like, oh, 6 degrees Celsius. A sweater and a light jacket will be enough for that. I 100% should have brought my ultralight jacket and a pair of gloves. I am massively underdressed at the moment. It'll be okay though, because we're walking, we're moving, we're not gonna freeze to death. And 6 degrees isn't that bad. It's, 6 degrees above zero. So we're good. Ooh, hello bird. Hi, where are you at? Where are you at? And Zengrath in here keeping the super chat ball rolling, saying this place is absolutely beautiful. Every moment of this stream could be turned into a desktop wallpaper. Yeah, I could not agree with you more. That is Shirakawa-go. The entire space could be turned into a desktop wallpaper for sure. And Color 12 is saying definitely a sharper image than 2 years ago. Yeah, we've upgraded our equipment quite a bit in the hopes of getting, much nicer streams than before. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, give that like button some love. And Lakers35 in here keeping the super chat ball rolling. Thank you so much, saying, hey Norm, new to the channel, well welcome. First and foremost, welcome. Excited to have you here. Was introduced to the channel via the abandoned school videos with Yohei. Love the videos. And have you ever been to Aokigahara? No, I haven't actually been out there. I've never been out to the area of Aokigahara. It was an area that I was kind of interested in checking out and have just never really made it out there. I might make it out eventually. Let's actually walk through here. And as we do so, I want to say good morning myself because I haven't made an appearance. I haven't said good morning to you guys yet. Hello. How is everybody doing? See, I've got this sweater here. It is my new favorite. It is meant to match the color of the sky at sunset, and I love it. And then I've got my light bomber jacket here that I use for all my pilot stuff down in Kagoshima. But there's a beautiful shot of the mountains from here. Let me turn this back around and show you guys. Look at the camera. do it justice in the least. That doesn't even come close to looking as good as it looks in person. It's not as blown out in person. I can see all the details and they're really, really nice. In order to get out here last night, I had to drive around the Alps up through Nagano and Matsumoto. And it almost feels wasteful to do that drive at nighttime. It's a beautiful drive. It's an absolutely spectacular drive, and it's one that had I had the time to leave earlier in the day, I 100% would have preferred to do during the daytime. It is gorgeous and spectacular in every single way. And I love it. Everyone's in here talking about what a beautiful view. Everyone's kind of, you know what I miss? So back, I used to do these live streams over on the TOKYOLENS main channel. And when I did them on the TOKYOLENS main channel, the chat started to go fast to the point where I couldn't really read the chat at some point. And so I thought, you know what, let's slow things down a bit. We started TOKYOLENS Explore just so that we could kind of do some walks and enjoy things, especially during the pandemic. And now I can actually read through you guys' chats as I'm walking. But I always find it such a multitasking challenge because I want to enjoy the view. Let's go to 2 here. We'll zoom in. I want to enjoy the beautiful views of spots like this. But I also want to read everything in there that you guys are sending. Look at these purple there. Oh. And Ren Gideon here, keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, hoping to take some friends to Japan next year for the first time, and I've been inspired by your videos to visit all around Gifu Prefecture. What is the best way to get there? Performance. Sumimasen. Ohayou gozaimasu. That woman had the absolute best smile in the world. Her smile literally just made my morning better. You guys, like, if you missed that, if your eyes were off the screen for a second and you did not get to see it, jump back to the screen, go back a few seconds, check out that lady's lovely smile, and give the like button some love. That was such a nice, warm morning. Gifu is a fantastic place to explore, and the way that I personally would recommend exploring the area is renting a car and coming out here. It'll give you access to so much more of the area by renting a car. We might actually come back through this way. I just wanted to get up a little higher so you can see the village. We're gonna head up this way, and then we're gonna go down and find one of my favorite views in all of Shirakawa-go. But I cannot recommend enough. If you have the ability to drive, and if you can get an international driver's permit, which is required in Japan, more often than not, you just go to your local transportation bureau and you fill out some forms and you get an international driver's permit. You can use that to rent cars out here and everything. And we've got the bell going off at the shrine over here. If you have the ability to do that, you will enjoy Gifu so much more. But also, JapanGuide.com and Google Maps are fantastic ways to plan your transportation lately. I highly recommend them. So, and Dan in here. Dan, thank you so much for keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying I'm so grateful for you to have started this channel. Love the locations, love the interactions. I have been kind of missing, you know, when the channel's smaller, one of the things that I really love is everybody in the chat kind of interacting with each other and chatting and hanging out with each other. So that's why anytime that you guys send messages back and forth to each other or use your super chats to give love to each other, I love and appreciate that. So I'm so tempted, like I really want to go, but I also know the second we get about here, the connection's just gonna, so we're not gonna go that way. we're gonna come back down this way and head to one of my favorite spots. Loving the morning gong. But yes. There we go. Driving on the left is the correct way. Yes, Tim, thank you very much for that. 100%. And Kirsten in here giving some love and helping people out with that as well. Yes. Kirsten says, can confirm, rent a car and drive. Can't be beaten. There is so much to explore and so much to be found in Japan when you rent a car and get out and do some driving. So if you have that option, or if you have the ability to travel with someone who has that option, it can really, really open up the country to you. And you know what? Simply because we haven't done it yet, let's do a reveal. These are the Shirakawa-go manholes. And look at that. It looks like Shirakawa-go. So, interesting fact about Shirakawa-go and the shapes of these huts. So the snow out in this area, in fact the entire area of Gifu, it can get very, very snowy. This entire area, all the valleys out here will just get blanketed in snow. And these here, these rooftops, these shapes, these triangular rooftop shapes are said to be called the praying hands. And it's because due to the amount of snow, they eventually developed this rooftop style. You know, they're praying, and it came to them in a vision, and that's the whole story. You know what? There's definitely people out there who can explain it better than me. Wikipedia could explain it better than I just explained it. That was terrible. You get it. It looks like praying hands there. I've ruined the story. It's completely ruined. But this is how bad the snow gets here. That there's literally signs that say, caution overhead. You're gonna get squished by snow. So that is how serious the snow can get out in this area. We've been meaning to come out and do this in the snow for some time. And unfortunately, I had a trip planned, 2 years back? Everything was planned, everything was booked, set up, had the camper car rented, ready to go. We were going to do our live stream and a video out in here. And you can see the gentleman right up there ringing the gong. Let's let him get one more ring. Come on, we're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. Give us one more good morning ring. Here we go. And there it is. And then, unfortunately, some disaster struck and hit pretty hard, and I had to leave the country, so we didn't get to do our snow adventure. And this year, by the time the snow hit, the schedule was so packed that I could not escape for the 2 to 3 days that it would take to get out here. Because one of the best ways to get out here is by car. But either way, it says it's about a 6-hour drive, but realistically, if you put in stops and breaks, you're much closer to 8 hours on that. So, it's quite the trek, quite the journey to get out here. But as you can see, it's definitely worth it once you are out here. And I just wanted to give some love to Nancy for keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying the view is so gorgeous. Thank you for taking us along with you. Me and my mom will be coming in October, and I can't wait. That is fantastic. You and your mom are going to have a spectacular time. Thank you so much for the super chat. If you guys are new, I mentioned it a little while earlier, but we use the super chats on the Tokyo Lens Explorer channel to fund the next legs of the adventure, to fund future trips and adventures right here on the TOKYOLENS Explorer channel, making them possible. For coming out here to give you guys like a rough cost, the camper van rental. So you can get fairly cheap rentals, like car rentals, for $60 to $100 a day. It's like 6,000 to 10,000 yen. So it's not bad at all. The highway out here will run you roughly 7,000 yen to 12,000 yen, depending on the route that you take. You can typically toss in at least one stop for food and at least half a tank of gas to get out here. So round trip, you could probably get out to a place like this for somewhere between $300 and $500, depending on how you manage your budget. So it's typically better to come out here and do a whole bunch of stuff in the area once you're out here than to just come out here and trip back to Tokyo. But that's kind of the rough breakdown. And Maria in here saying, what are the odds of joining a stream in real life? Wow, guys. Maria, thank you. Why? Is that a necessary sign? This sign right here says no parking in the shrine. I can't imagine why that sign, who did that they felt that sign needed to be put there. And Maria, thank you so much. I really love that someone would want to join one of these streams in real life. I don't stream with people that often because it adds this one more aspect of things that I've got to focus on. I think the last time I did it was with Sherry out in Kyoto. I think I've only done maybe 3 to 4 streams with people on this channel so far, because then I can't focus on the chat and hang out with you guys and everything like that. So I appreciate it. I won't say it's impossible, but I also won't get your hopes up, because also time is a thing, and meeting new people is not something that I have as much time for as I used to have, and I miss that, which is one of the reasons why we got the TOKYOLENS studio in Akihabara. So for all of you who I have managed to connect with there, for all of you who have managed to come out to events and hangouts and all of that, thank you so much. There's actually quite a few of you in the chat, and I absolutely love it. This shrine is gorgeous, by the way, gorgeous. But Maria, thank you for using a super chat for that. And the Reactiverse. And why does no one pressure wash anything in Japan? And it's always added this cool age on everything, but I'm curious as to why they don't. I don't know. Like you can see, yeah, they don't pressure wash the shrine. It's also probably a lot softer of rock than you would expect. So I'm guessing pressure washing this, you're only going to be able to do that so many times. But thank you so much for keeping the super chat ball rolling on that one. I kind of like the mossy look on everything. It is quite gorgeous, and this shrine here is beautiful. Look at this. Kind of reading through the chat as I'm walking with you guys here. It's 106 miles to Tokyo. We've got a full tank of gas. And we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it, beautiful. And Kirsten, please be safe. I see you in the chat there. Thanks, everybody. Thank you guys so much again for the chat and just all the kindness that you guys share with each other. Really adds to the experience for me. So thank you. Look at these trees here. Last night, one of the last things that I did before coming out to this area was to swing by a convenience store. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do breakfast, I just stepped on a whole bunch of rocks and almost tripped. I am not going to do breakfast this morning. Just gonna enjoy the area, do a little bit of an adventure, and I'll do lunch later on. And now, guys, I'm regretting it. I'm kind of wishing that I had grabbed some food for breakfast because I'm starting to get hungry and I don't want to have to drive out and go to a convenience store or something somewhere. I just want to enjoy the morning and get our adventure off to the best start possible. I mentioned earlier on that we do have a bit of a guest for this particular adventure. A few hints that I gave is that this guest is from overseas. They are not from Japan and they have not been on the channel yet. And I encourage everybody, both in the chat and in the comments if you're watching afterwards, to guess who our guest is going to be for this time. I'm thinking I might actually make a little bit of a video for while we're out here. In each one of these live streams we do, I get a question, and I might need to just put a video together about it soon, about how my shamisen playing is coming after the accident. If you don't know, I was hit by a truck last August, and it did some damage to my hands, and for a while my flight training went on hold. And if you're new and you don't know, yes, I'm also currently doing flight training down in the south of Japan. We've been doing a bunch of adventures with that, but also it brought an end to my 10-year career of playing the Tsugaru shamisen, and I am done with playing the shamisen for now. And I am completely okay with that. I had a great decade with it. Got to meet some incredible people that now built up the life that I have. I still work with Kiki, the shamisen players, every single week. We still travel together. Sorry, I've got distracted by the purple flowers over here in the trees, so I'm walking over this way. And so I don't play myself. I can hold a bachi and play for like 10-15 minutes, but that's about the max for me. And there we go. And no, the person who I'm traveling with this time has not been on TOKYOLENS Explore before. And Maria, thank you so much for volunteering to be the camera person for the boat stream. I still really want to be able to read the chat though. So if you had a captain's license to be able to pilot a boat in Japan, I might have you pilot. Oh, also you'd need the Tokyo certification. But thank you so much. I really appreciate the energy, the gusto, the care, and the wisteria are absolutely gorgeous. That shrine was honestly really nice. That might have been one of my favorite parts. This, I loved it. Okay. Continuing, moving on. And Stefan is in here saying, hey Norm, thanks for the trekking and camping videos. I always love the scenery and qualities of the video. Love from Romania. We definitely have more of both coming this year. Japan is honestly the perfect country for literally exactly those two things, hiking and camping. And it's one of the things that we did to kind of kick off this channel here, was doing hiking and camping adventures. And that will continue this year. And again, we are in the season for it now. Like, now is the season for hiking and camping adventures. So looking forward to seeing what we can get up to. So if you're in the live chat right now, or if you're just watching afterwards in the replay, where do you want us to visit this year? Where do you want us to go here on TOKYOLENS Explore? Where do you want us to check out? Where do you want us to explore? This year's adventure, just like the last major adventure that we did, is actually going to be built by Patreon. The main announcement on Patreon has already been made. And what we're going to be doing is the Patreon crew is going to be choosing the route for the adventure, helping pick out the main locations that we're going to be going to. Can we walk down this narrow path? I feel like we can. I'm going to try to. Picking out the main locations and helping pick the route just like last time. Because last time that worked out beautifully. The Patreon members picked out the route, picked out everywhere that we went, including Shirakawa-go. And we ended up with a spectacular adventure. And so we're going to be doing the exact same thing. Any plans to go to Kyoto this year? I've actually already gone to Kyoto 3 or 4 times this year and done videos almost every single time. I think in the last 2 months, I've done at least 3 videos in Kyoto. So go check those out on the main channel, TOKYOLENS. And Seals84 saying, I plan on visiting Japan. I hope to get to run into you. Love your videos. And you're always happy with what you're doing and give good vibes. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. This is very, very grown over, including the bicycle here, which has just been grown over. And then we can see the river down that way. We're gonna try and loop back around through this way and see where it takes us. I usually have a backup phone with me for these streams. Tsushima, RIP, CC. Eastern side of Hokkaido, Kochi, Hokkaido. We've actually done quite a bit of Hokkaido. Still one of my favorite places I've been to. I would love to know you guys' appeal for Hokkaido. Like, what makes Hokkaido great to you? As someone who comes in from Canada, Hokkaido is not all that, like it's Japan, so it's very different. But in terms of landscape and how spread out everything is, it's not all that different from Canada. I love areas that are like really, there's a lot of stuff in one location, and you get a lot less of that in Hokkaido because Hokkaido has a ton of space and everything tends to be very, very spread out. So Random Existence in here, keeping that super chat ball rolling as well, saying, thanks for another beautiful stream. Need to go to bed now, unfortunately, but looking forward to watching the rest of it later. Thank you so much, Random Existence. Really appreciate the super chat. Really appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. This area, this is actually just a really nice, peaceful walk. Like both, oh no, does the road end here? Guys, I think our path ends. I think this is the end of the line, guys. Look at this. Came all the way out here. I don't think we can go any further. And do I know how to use this thing and turn it around? Look at that. I was like, tra-la-la. And then we got... Maybe we can... We'll try to walk this little mini path along the side. I don't think we're getting... Oh, maybe we can get across to the other side. As long as we're careful and we hop. Does it wrap around? It was less... Oh boy. Okay. Gets really narrow there. I think we can just step over to this side. There we go. Oh, and we're balancing. Try not to fall in the water. Don't fall in the water. Yoink. There we go. I think we made it, guys. This is not an official walking path, so I don't endorse this. But at least it means we don't have to go back. And Yumi and Chris in here saying, hi Norm, say hi to Yumi in London, please. Absolutely, I'll do that. Hi Yumi, in London, please. How you doing? Got just a tiny bit of cloud right there. It's all the cloud, it's all the unkai, the sea of clouds that we're gonna get for today. Always shocks me the difference between the wide camera and this camera. This camera is nowhere near as wide. I need to clip those little lenses that I used to use onto this. Loving this morning though. Norm falling into the water would make good. Zengraph, don't do that. Don't jinx me like that, man. It would not make good content. It would make bad content because it's freezing cold this morning. We're only 5 degrees above freezing. I would not want to fall in the water on a day like today. It would not be good. If you guys haven't done so already, to protect me from falling into the water, do me a favor and give that like button some love. I would not enjoy falling in the water on a day like today. Maybe on a nice, hot summer day. I can feel it. I can feel it. But today is not that day. And guys, I'm getting incredibly hungry now. I'm starting to really feel the hunger. I always feel this pull, this necessity when you're out in a quiet, peaceful village like this to just kind of keep my laid back morning energy and not allow myself to get overly ganky or excited. There's just something about the area that promotes peace. So this is gonna open from 10 a.m. It's a cafe and restaurant. It has set lunches, dango dumplings. They have coffee and tea. I can almost guarantee that I'm gonna be coming there for breakfast later on. Dry pants for Norm crowdfund. Well, I haven't fallen in the water yet, so as much as I appreciate the sentiment, I don't think we need the crowdfund just at the moment, but thank you for that. And morning for my workbench at 7 a.m. and Mirage 100 in there with a super sticker. Thank you so much for that. And reacting to saying you've now cursed yourself to fall into the water in summer. That might have happened. So you can see this sign here. It says that this is a wildlife protection area here in Gifu Prefecture. So we must protect the wildlife, which means if you see a bear and it's being attacked by a fox, you have to attack the fox. You gotta punch the fox in the head to protect the bear. That's the law here in Japan, that wildlife protection areas means that you need to protect wildlife from other wildlife. So you're required to go into the forest at least 10 days a year and protect wildlife from each other with your bare hands. These are real, actual Japanese laws that do exist and that I 100% didn't just make up right here in the moment. I did not realize that this pathway was here. Ugh. Apparently the spiders knew about it though. But we can't go beyond here. So we're not gonna go beyond here. But it exists, and now you know about it. And I'm sure at one point it was a really nice viewing deck of the river where you could sit and enjoy a picnic view at a bench and table that never got cleaned or pressure washed. But my favorite bridge is right over here. And Ember is in here saying, please don't fall in and get hypothermia. I would not want that. Honestly, it would be terrible. I didn't bring an extra pair of pants. I don't know why I didn't. I had enough space. I've just gotten so used to packing light that I just didn't bring them. Here we go, guys. Like this little walk right here, this bridge, getting to cross this area, just the walk from one side to the other. You got the wisteria over here as well in the tree. Oh, I have missed this. I have missed this space. Look at this. Feel for the got the mountains and the moon there. And there we go. Now Do me a favor, keep an eye on the connection for me and stay active in the chat with it. The last time that we crossed this bridge, if I remember correctly, I believe the connection went and got really terrible. And no, don't be choppy. Don't. Okay, is the voice at least coming through okay? The bridge, man. The bridge is the bane of my existence. I remembered correctly, and it's very unfortunate. We'll get out of the bridge. Audio is fine, which is great, but unfortunately, video didn't want to play along. But this is actually nice right here with the sun. This scene right here with the shrine and the sun coming up behind the mountains is, I love this. Absolutely love this. There was a question in there asking if I have ever come across a bear. And if you want to not only know but see the answer to that question, there is a video on the main TOKYOLENS channel where I went out and lived with a hermit who lives alone, the last remaining resident of a hidden abandoned village here in the mountains of Gifu. And the answer to whether or not I've ever come across a bear is in that video. And a very generous super chat in here from Cranky Pans saying, "G'day mate, love from Australia. Have you ever been fishing in Japan? Looks like an amazing area." Surprisingly, no, I haven't. I have never gone fishing in Japan, and I grew up doing a lot of fishing. So that's a little odd to me, but thank you so much for your insanely kind super chat, as well as Kirsten. Kirsten, how are you doing? How was your Japan trip? For the boat stream fund, because you know I want to see that. Loving the peace of all the water. Wishing everyone a great day. Kirsten, thank you so much for that. In our last live stream, or maybe the one before, the idea came up of me taking everybody out. There's some gachapon here, and these little penguins are really cute. The idea came up of, I have a captain's license for boats here in Japan. So I have the ability to rent a boat and take us out on it. But it's unfortunately not a very cheap endeavor with the marina fees and the membership and the boat rental. And I would also probably need to rent someone to come along with me to captain the boat, because you also need a certification for Tokyo, which I have, but if I'm captaining the boat, I wouldn't be able to do the stream or have chat with you guys or read anything or really focus on much other than captaining the boat. We've done videos over on the TOKYOLENS channel of me taking the boat through the waterways of Tokyo, which are surprisingly like there's so many. There's so many waterways. And Tokyo is, I won't go so far as to compare it to Venice, but I also won't not compare it to Venice. The waterways of Tokyo are, there's a lot. I'm struggling for appropriate adjectives. And so that is a stream that we are looking forward to, and that is one of the things that these super chats are going towards, is saving towards that stream there. Boat tour of Matsushima. Boat tour of Matsushima. I do, like, we could just get on a boat in Matsushima and I could probably stream that. I don't imagine that we get really good signal. A boat tour of Tokyo, all the canals, rivers, that's what we want. Boat out on the, Matsushima is a beautiful area, but there's already like a boat tour out there, going out on our own bespoke boat tour where it's just us on the water and we have the freedom to go wherever we want. You want to go to the Sky Tree? Let's go to the Sky Tree. You want to go through the area of Nihonbashi? Want to go near Shinagawa? You want to go up to Asakusa? Let's do it all. Want to swing by Odaiba? Let's do it. So, and the license isn't super hard to get. It is somewhat time consuming to get the boat license. And then after you get the boat license, to be able to use a boat in Tokyo, you have to do a separate certification seminar that takes about half a day. So you end up basically giving up a day for it in order to, I guess, pilot the boat in Tokyo. And skip-a-doo, how you doing? Saying, flying out in less than a month now. That's exciting. Explore like TOKYOLENS videos on Patreon are my lifeline. Can't wait to get my feet on the ground. Thank you so much. And the sun has just come up over the mountains. It feels really nice to have the sunshine hitting my face on what has otherwise been a fairly cold morning. And yes, the Explore Like TOKYOLENS series is one that we've been working over on Patreon for finding hidden spots, finding things like the abandoned villages that I go out to, finding things like the hermit that I went and lived with, for going out to these spots that are otherwise not known, that you don't get to see in guidebooks and on the average YouTube video and stuff like that, and how I do that and how you can do that as well. And we are halfway through that series right now, with the remaining half of the episodes come with an additional bonus episode currently in the works, which you'll have a pretty good idea of what it's going to be if you saw the most recent video. And good morning, birds, peacefully flying around here. So thank you so much. I hope that you have an amazing time, and do me a favor, while I am in and out of the country non-stop for the next couple months, to go out to events and do talks and conventions and whatnot overseas. As you are on that side of things, don't be shy about dropping me a message over on our Patreon Discord. I love having whoever I can over to the studio for coffee when we get the chance. No promises, but it would be awesome if that was an option. And Pink Hoshi in here keeping that super chat ball rolling as well. Thank you both so much for that. Much gratitude, love, and appreciation. Beautiful view of the river here. Look at this, Eric. Like, come on, look at the view. It's gorgeous. I can't get over the view of the mountains and just how beautiful they are. Dan Domin saying, did I pronounce that right? I hope I did. Saying the hermit and the bear could make for an incredible fable. Woo, we have got some sunshine going now. It is bright. It's very bright, but it's a very nice, like finally the sun is up. The sun, that is right. We stream pre-sunshine. That's what we do here. Let's turn that back around. And Pink Hoshi in here again with another super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, if you get yourself a Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro 12K camera, then you can do crop intro to the bridge as you cross it. That's actually not a terrible idea. I actually had the Ursa 12K for a while. Chris and I did kind of a fun little collaborative project where I went out to an abandoned village with the Ursa 12K. I think it's got me sitting in the village, holding the camera, and like Chris poking his head out of a log in the thumbnail on the main channel. And it inspired an entire documentary about that village. Chris and I had this kind of funny back and forth joke competition. Someone had sent Chris a message saying, I just bought an 8K camera, mwahaha kind of thing. And we thought it really funny that, like, well, you know, the number of K in your camera doesn't really do anything. And so we had a laugh, and I tweeted like, ha, Chris uploaded Journey Across Japan in 4K. I just bought a 6K camera. Chris one-upped me by posting an 8K video. And then I got the Ursa 12K and went out to this abandoned village to shoot this video in 12K. And Chris is like, dude, you can only post in 8K. Not to mention all the other massive drawbacks that come from 8K, 12K footage. And so that video is also up on the main channel if you want to check that one out. That was a fun little collaboration. But in finding that location, I found an area where I really wanted to know more, and I heard a bit of a waza, I guess, a legend, a story, if you will, that there might actually be one man who was living in that village. And so I went back for a follow-up series where I lived in the village for several days, talked to as many locals as possible until, well, I'm not going to spoil the ending of the video for you if you haven't seen it. There's a series of about 3 of those, starting with the joke video with Chris that we just had a great time on, and then the main documentary and the behind the scenes. And Catherine Lebda in here saying, have you ever been to Kamikochi? Those mountains just make me want to get there as fast as I can. I have been out there, but I haven't been out there on camera yet. I went out to Kamikochi, I don't even know how many years ago. I drove through there with a friend's family long ago. It's actually how I found Shirakawa-go for the first time too. Friend's family brought me out here. And so we definitely have to make our way out to there at some point. But thank you, Catherine, so much for that super chat. I appreciate it. And Boaz in here saying, hi Norm, was here 2 months ago. Great to see it in spring. Do you know Oki, the Ainu band? Saw them at a Dutch festival. The spirit was phenomenal. I had no idea. I will definitely check that out. Thank you for sharing it. Never heard of them. Excited to explore. Excited to learn more. Appreciate it. And Tim in here pointing out that there was a super chat from Art from the Heart before the 12K camera one. Thank you very much. Just caught that. Thanks to you. Really appreciate it. And Art from the Heart in here, keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, have you ever checked out the Hiratakayama Retro Museum in Ome? It looks amazing. I feel like you'd like it. Japan thing. I can't remember if that was one of them, but I've almost certainly been 100%. I've been, like, if there's a retro museum in Japan, I've probably been to it. I get out to as many of those as possible. And Kirsten, thank you for always sharing the links to these. Much appreciated. Huge love. Did the stream die? Buffering. This side of the village is the bane of my existence. Okay. So we won't stay on this side of the village because it doesn't want us to. As soon as we go to this side or to my favorite bridge, it's just like, no, I refuse to give you any signal. Glad that we're back. Yeah, it really is a nice area. In fact, I'm gonna walk my favorite little pathway again just because I can and because it's beautiful. Oh, I thought that was a giant fish in the water right there. It's not a giant fish. I thought it was, and it spooked me because I was like, it's a massive fish. Now, one of the interesting things about coming out to Shirakawa-go is a lot of these buildings, like once it gets to a more appropriate humans are awake hour, you can actually come in and check them out. Like this Wada house here, for example, opens at 9 a.m. The admission is for the adultesse 400 yen, and for the children's 2 of the 100 yens. Actually go out and check them out. Go inside. And Lucas in here keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, what was your favorite non-tourist place in Japan? As in, you probably need to know Japanese to go there. My favorite non-tourist place in Japan that you probably need to know Japanese to go there. I like this question. I like this question because this question kind of has me thinking. I want to give a good, like, proper answer to this one. And this space right here, this is my favorite little space to walk. I could literally just walk back and forth across this path all morning. So I will think, I flip this around, and as we walk this, there we go. There's not that many places that you're 100% going to need to know Japanese to visit, especially in 2023 and beyond, when we have access to tools like Google Translate and everything else. You'll always be able to find some way of communicating, and people will always make effort to communicate with you. So if I don't put too much weight on that part, I would say my favorite experiences so far, my favorite places in Japan, have genuinely been almost any of the hidden villages, abandoned villages, hidden shrines and temples that we've done. I love these places that you're not just going to be able to type into Google and come across it. We've done entire series on TOKYOLENS called the Unknown Adventure, where I've managed to go out, and the one, like, while it wasn't like, oh, you can't get there without Japanese, the one thing that really Japanese did do for me is it added to the experience by allowing me to connect with and speak to the locals. And you know, there we just walked the entire thing, and by enabling me to speak to the locals and connect with them and hear their stories and learn about the area or hear about the area through them, it really deepened my experience in the area. But I don't think that that's specific to the hidden temples and villages and shrines and stuff like that. You're gonna have a better time pretty much anywhere you go by being able to talk to the locals and get to know them. Even in a place like this, you don't 100% need Japanese to be here, but getting to talk to the locals, like, had we not been midstream, that old lady with the beautiful smile, 100%, I probably would have taken a little walk with her this morning and just chatted with her and asked her what it's like to live here and just learn about things like that. So regardless, me personally, I love the hidden stuff. You probably noticed through the adventures that we do, but you don't really need Japanese to reach most places, but it will deeply enrich in your experience if you have the ability to speak to the locals and ask them questions and get to know them. I hope that one helps. And there's a very generous super chat in here from Northview Moto saying, hey, it's Sam the CFI from Oregon. Did you finish your pilot training? No, I'm not finished my pilot training. I'm barely into my pilot training. Haven't even done my solo yet, and I'm okay with that. Life means I've got to fly all the way to the other side of Japan every time that I want to do training, and you can only get so many hours, maybe like an hour a day. And so my pilot training is not going quickly, but it is going well because I have an amazing flight instructor who has taken great care in the way that he teaches me. He is very, very strict, but he ensures that I know and that I'm following safety procedure and that I know everything that I need to know to be up there in the air. So thank you so much. Definitely in no rush to complete that training. If you're a CFI, you know how much goes into it. No need to do it quickly. I'd rather do it really well. Thank you. And the color 12, thank you very much for pointing at, yes, the gear that I use for these streams. I am using an iPhone 14 Pro Max and a little tiny, very pocketable gimbal called the PowerVision S1. I think that's what it said. Also, one more massive thank you to Northview Moto for that insanely kind super chat. Really appreciate it. And I am hoping in the next couple of months to be able to get back to Kagoshima again to continue some of my training. I don't know what it is about this like Toyota CHR. I just like it. It's just a nice looking car. I like that car. All right, and Lucas in here giving the super chat ball rolling, saying, thank you, I'm trying to learn Japanese before I go. Do you have a list of all the hidden places you've been? The closest thing you're gonna get to a list is just going through TOKYOLENS. I believe I have playlists of hidden and abandoned adventures if you click on the playlists tab of the channel, but I do not have a curated list of all the places that I've been. I need to put together something like that for my website, considering that it just keeps growing and growing and growing. There's more and more and more places that I've been. But I also love, and it really, really makes sense with the super dry thatched roofs, that the two signs that you see most commonly in this village are watch out for falling snow and no smoking. Like you definitely wouldn't want this village to go up, because I don't feel like it would be good. That was not a very Englishy sentence, but I think you get the point. I'm now hardcore eyeballing the restaurants and the food to see when everything is going to open, because the hunger has truly started to hit hard. So let's take a quick peek and see what kind of food options we have here in Shirakawago and see if we can find an opening time for this. I don't see an opening time yet. If you guys happen to catch it in your eye before I do, let me know. We've got, why would both sides of this be Celsius? Why? Okay, so according to this, since we can't line up, it is, there we go. It is just over 5 degrees Celsius right now. I'm still not seeing an opening time for this. This is actually what it looks like in the winter though. When I said it gets a lot of snow, it gets a lot of snow. Like this place is a magical wonderland. Oh, look at this with like the dew on the, I want to take a photo like that. And Renjamin in here saying, love being here with you in chat on the streams. Thank you. Love having you here. That's me. That's my reflection. Hi, guys. Have you ever been to the southern islands of Japan, like Yakushima or Okinawa? Yakushima, yes. I have been out there. It was okay, but felt a little more touristy to me than I would have liked. I don't know if I'll ever go back. And Okinawa, I've always said that if I'm going to go out, I want to be able to go to Okinawa for the first time for something big. And the Hida beef korokke sounds really good. Actually, everything just looks incredible. Hida beef wasabi korokke. Wasabi. Okay, I'm a huge wasabi fan. How about you guys? Do Do you enjoy wasabi? Do you hate wasabi? Also, it's not uncommon to see fish in the water here. But it might need to be deeper. We might be a little early season. It might still be just a little bit too cold. And a question here, is there any chance of the TOKYOLENS podcast coming back? You see, the TOKYOLENS Explorer YouTube channel kind of took place of the TOKYOLENS podcast. One of the last big projects that I did for the TOKYOLENS podcast was the at-home show in the midst of the pandemic, where I think we got the fish, where I did interviews with all the creators across Japan, and we made a whole video series that's available up on Patreon. I'm thinking I might want to actually post those videos live at some point. See, we got fish in here. They're just enjoying the flow of the water and looking at them low-key swimming there. I did a stream out in the area of Kagurazaka recently, and I started that stream by talking about a time that I thought for sure I was gonna get arrested on a boat because the land police tried to pull over my boat from land. And so if you want to check out that Kagurazaka stream, that whole story is in there. And a lot of people love wasabi. I'm really glad to see that. I didn't think we get to see the fish today, so I'm really, really happy that we're getting to see the fish. This is making me a little happier than it should. And another super chat in here from Me a Pineapple. And I love that your profile picture is also the pen pineapple apple pen guy. And Norm, you seem like a kind soul, and watching you interact with the elderly is adorable. Aw, thank you so much. I love the elderly. I'm going to tell you guys a secret about this YouTube channel in just a second. And how do you think we can bring more kindness into this world? Honestly, I'm at best normal and average like the rest of you. It's just an exercise. It's just a muscle that you exercise. And I think, honestly, if you walk around and you just make that small little effort to smile and greet people, more often than not, they'll be so happy that they will smile and greet you back. And so that is just a really good way. Maybe it's the Canadian in me to start and do any day. Getting to smile and interact with the people around me always just adds to my day. Like, you guys saw my reaction to that sweet lady and her amazing smile. Like, it was just fantastic. Actually, in one of the recent videos I did over on TOKYOLENS, I asked ChatGPT, the AI, to plan the ultimate day in Tokyo for me, avoiding tourist spots and only sticking to hidden gems. Give me the opportunity to explore places. And it actually pumped out a fairly decent day. There were some errors and mishaps along the way, but at the beginning of that video, this sweet old lady came up to me and she's like, "Excuse me, are you a YouTuber?" in beautiful English. And I was like, yeah. She's like, "Can I follow you?" And I loved this interaction with her. She was so sweet and kind and nice. And honestly, it was just because as I walked by, I made eye contact, I smiled. And that right there, whenever you can, don't avoid the eye contact. Make the eye contact and smile. And it just makes everybody's day better. And look at this. Look at this beautiful little space right here. Love it. Absolutely love it. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for that question, because that question brought back some beautiful memories that I really enjoyed. So also, I did not realize, and I kind of want to get you guys' thoughts in both the chat and in the comments after the video goes live. If you want to leave something in the comments after this whole thing wraps up and leave a bit of a more detailed answer, or if you're just watching the replay, I would love to hear from you, because while I would say 99% of the having AI plan my day in Tokyo video was positive response and happiness, and the comments were really kind. And we did have a genuinely unique and very interesting day where I got to explore things in my own city of Tokyo that I haven't seen before. That was fantastic. There were people who were very unhappy that I had used AI for a video, that accused me of propaganda. And you're never going to be able to do a video on anything without somebody being upset. There's going to be somebody when I post this live stream that's like, how dare you walk around Shirakawa-go? Do you know that word has too many syllables and that's really hard? It's syllablist. You're a syllablist. There's going to be somebody who finds some way to be offended by this. So, but I took the time to try to have some discussions with some of these people who were really, really unhappy, because a few of them were, and this always confuses me. They're like, oh, you used AI for a video? I'm unsubbing. I'm like, well, you know, every creator around the world gets hundreds, if not thousands, of unsubs every day, week, or month. But you needed to announce yours. That was very important to you, for you to announce it. And while I appreciate that you need that much of my attention, you're just, at that point, you're just another one. But thanks for your time, and have a good day, sir, ma'am, or whatever pronoun you choose, whatever it is. But a lot of people, I'd say no more than 5%, were like you shouldn't be using AI. It's very, I was called dishonest, which kind of threw me off. And I kind of wanted, so I've been diving into it over the past couple of days to get a bit of a deeper view on this. And kind of wanted to ask your guys' thoughts on AI. Like, to me, it's a big change, and yes, it's going to replace jobs and everything like that, but it's also going to create new industries that we never ever imagined would have existed, in the exact same way that, like, you know, the telephone kind of killed the telegram industry, didn't it? But it created so many new jobs. And, you know, as soon as the radio came out, people were like, oh, well, the newspaper is finished. And as soon as TV came out, people were like, oh, the radio is finished. And guess what? Newspapers and radios still exist, and now we have this whole other industry. And while the newspapers and radios may not be the main set of mainstream media anymore, there's a whole bunch of angles to look at this from. And I'm like, oh, it's a good learning experience and a good chance to open up some discussions. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. And additionally, there was a super chat in here from Daniel and Yuka. Thank you, guys. Any lessons with the Tears of Kingdom Kuji in Shirakawa-go? You should definitely hit up Ishigaki Tsushima. Oh, yeah. Wow. And Makurazaki. Makurazaki is Yuka's hometown? I thought you said that she was from the area where I'm doing my pilot training. Is that not what brought you guys there? I thought you guys were out walking around my neighborhood in that area on your stream. Because is that just where her family? I have so many questions for you guys now, and I don't think that there are any Lawson nearby. The Shirakawa-go isn't a really like konbini, convenience store town, so. But I will keep my eyes open for it. So, and Tim is in here saying, I tried generating itineraries. Oh no, it moved. I tried generating itineraries. Seemed to work well. AI in general can be very good, but can also be very bad. It's like anything. It's about how it's used and controlled. Yeah, I would agree with that. It took me a while to get a decent, usable prompt that would actually give us good results. And I didn't want to spend half the video going over all of my failed prompts, because in a couple of months, when, you know, a massive prompt generators and everything like that come out, it's not gonna matter anyway. So I just tried to focus. Yuka's grandma lives in Hayato. Fantastic. I just tried to focus on what prompt I used and the end result, which was spectacular and so much fun. So, and look at that, now that the sun's coming out, the entire place is just starting to look different and beautiful. Let's walk this street. I don't think we've done any of the main streets yet, and I feel like this is where we're likely to find food and all that when things start opening. But as we get down towards this direction, do me a favor, keep an eye on the signal with me and let me know. And Catherine is saying, I want to hear all the ridiculous prompts that so originally when I had put in, I was like, I want, you know, hidden unknown areas. I don't want to focus on the touristy stuff. And it was like giving me all these spots that I would have spent the entire day on the train. It was like, go way out here and then go way out here. And it didn't really consider the value of time spent in transportation. And that was kind of the first issue that I came across when I was doing it. So I worked out a prompt asking it to keep to the Yamanote line and Tokyo Metro lines while not using any private lines or Odakyu line or anything like that. And tried to keep it as central to Tokyo as possible. But even then, had the order of things been done differently, it would have given us a much better day where we spent less time on trains. And I'm going to read this one out because this is good. It says, I work in tech, so maybe my perspective will be a bit skewed. Computers are dumb. They're great at executing a set of instructions, but not at creating new things. AI will need to solve that in order to succeed. And I completely agree with that. There's a ton of ways to use it as a tool, but it's like, you know, nail guns did not replace the hammer. It's that simple. It's not like everybody in the world now uses a nail gun and nobody ever uses a hammer again. And we could definitely see that in the way that the video came together and the way that my day got planned by AI. I still needed to use other tools if I wanted to have a perfect day. And for the sake of that video, I chose not to on that day. I stuck just to what ChatGPT gave. Ooh, that bird, I don't know if that showed up in the frame, but that bird like came right up to my face. Good morning, guys. Wow. That's my shadow. And we've got people walking who clearly stayed here overnight. So that's an view. Yeah, you guys might have noticed I'm kind of enjoying the water wheel. It is beautiful. Absolutely love it. Tokyo tourist traps. Try Osaka, more choice. I am not a fan of Osaka. I've never enjoyed it. It's not a place that I enjoy being. And honestly, the reason is it's two things. There's two reasons. Number one, I vastly prefer Tokyo just because of the number of like hidden shrines and temples in the back streets and whatnot. And number two, Osaka is just a bit too noisy for me. So I've never really gotten into Osaka. Okay, I'm gonna get away from the water wheel. I was just enjoying the water wheel a touch too much. And it's at, okay, I see one in there asking for a vending machine tour. We can take a quick peek. We'll do a 15-second peek of the vending machine. We got Coke, we got normal water, we got peach water, we got real gold, apparently. And chill out, which there's like this whole CBD is becoming really popular in Japan right now. So there's CBD drinks and everything else. And then a whole range of coffees. That was I love how it says cans only, pet bottles only. And then it's tape closed. It's nothing only. Nothing. The other thing that I find really funny is they insist on you like dividing these up between cans and pet bottles. And both go into the same place. Osaka is a lovely place. Like if you're a foodie, Osaka is fantastic, but I'm not really a foodie. I'm more of a like food is for survival kind of weirdo. And so the Osaka, the back streets aren't back streets in Osaka. Like, it does have some, but not at the level that Tokyo does, and they're not filled with temples and shrines, so that's also kind of eh. And again, the level of noise, Osaka's a great base to go to other places from, but I've tried my best to enjoy traveling Osaka and just haven't managed to hit the vibe. Just watering her plants this morning, so peaceful. Absolutely love it. Now, that being said, I have had 1 or 2 trips out to Osaka that I really, really enjoyed. And one of the things that can make Osaka, or really anywhere, much better is the people. Like, the people. And so having the chance to get to speak to Osaka locals and connect with people who know Osaka or experience things with people from Osaka, that changes things up quite a bit. And that makes it a much, much better experience. And we're gonna slip in this way just a little. Is that a schoolhouse? We're gonna slip in this way just a little bit again as we get down to this way. Let's keep our eye on the signal. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad. Just the amount of flowing water out here. Yeah. We have this here. And yes, definitely Osaka and Tokyo both have their own charms. I am just, guys, I'm very partial to Tokyo because I know the city inside and out, and I enjoy I can like literally just walk anywhere in Tokyo and I'm always happy. And there's a cat. I was probably too happy about the cat. Can anybody see the cat before I zoom in? Okay, let's play that game. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in the countdown of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Can you find the cat yet? Have you found the cat yet? 4, 3, 2, cat. Hi, he's just sitting there. He's just like, what's up? I'm a cat. Oh, I'm really far from you. I'm not chasing you. Why, you're a literal scaredy cat. Well, we still enjoyed you. So who caught the cat before I zoomed in? Leave it in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, leave it in the comments. Oh, this area is so beautiful once the sun comes up. Love it so much. Art from the Heart nailed it. Art from the Heart found the cat. And look at this guy, come on. And Patricia in there with the super sticker. Patricia, thank you so much. Patricia actually supported the last major live stream adventures so much. Was there for every single stream and hangout. We've also done, that is a really old school, but they're built to survive. In Japan, the schools are usually the evacuation points, so they are built to survive absolutely anything. And yes, there are swallows flying around in there. They're beautiful and peaceful and lovely. Apparently craning my neck upwards and speaking was not comfortable for my body. I did not realize that. Oh, look at it. Seriously, you can literally point the camera anywhere in this area and you end up with a gorgeous view. Like, look, a beautiful rock. Look, stools. Seriously. What? Wait a second. 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 What? This is not something. This is not something. My laugh is so loud and obnoxious right now. This is not something This doesn't match the area at all. Like in the least. Like. So they don't. Okay, for clarification, just to let you know, they don't actually mean vaping. Okay. It's called vaping area, but what they mean is Japan has all of these like non-burning tobacco products where I guess I don't really know how they work. Sorry for the crappy explanation, but you've got this thing and you put like a little half cigarette thing in it or something, and then you still smoke it, but it doesn't burn. If anybody knows how it works, let me know. But it just feels really weird to be in Shirakawa-go and have a vaping area. It just doesn't, it feels, and there's several vaping areas dispersed throughout the city. And do not dispose of any objects other than heated tobaccos, cigarettes. See, there we go, that's better. Heated tobacco only. That makes much more sense than like vaping zone. Yeah, see, in order to minimize the risk of fire, we aim to prohibit within the world, and yeah. So the use of conventional cigarettes which use fire makes total sense. So I just think it's really funny that most places will say like heated tobacco only when you see these, but this one just says vaping area. And it just feels very out of place in this super traditional Japanese village of Shirakawago. It's like vaping area. And the main street here is like a no motor vehicle zone. And so I actually have to enter in from the back of the village through the mountains in order to get through. Are we doing okay for signal still? I feel like we are. I feel like it's not too bad. And there are morning walkers over there. And again, just that shot of the moon. Love it. Love it so much. And I'm gonna get squished. So we're gonna move off to the side. Usually the locals can use these roads, but it's not like they would be very unhappy if I drove the giant camper van through here. So it would be unpleasant for everyone. And I'm not gonna zoom in because wow, that kid just hit the girl with his umbrella or stick or whatever. It's mean. Probably likes her. I'm not gonna zoom in because I don't want to get their faces, but got little ones heading to school now, which means since the streets are likely about to fill with children and the day is gonna get started, I think I should probably grab some food at some point. I think I should do that. I think I should head back to the camper van. Oh, he's carrying he's making a nest. Look at that. I think I should head back to the camper van, prep to get the day started. And yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's a good question. Dan is in here going, wait, school starts at 7? It is ridiculously early for the kids to be out and about. What are y'all doing? There's a really nice area over here, but we can't go over there because the signal cuts out. And we can't go across the bridge because the signal cuts out. So, and I guess she's done her gardening for the morning, but after the video goes live, do me a favor and leave something in the comments so that when I'm done with my shoot today, we can hang out and I can chat with you and I can see all of that. Also, if you're new and you haven't done so already, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, when I go live for these, you don't miss them. I don't leave all of the live streams public. I don't keep them all up there. I'm just really enjoying the sunshine, to be honest. I don't leave all of the live streams up. Some of them are impromptu, so notifications help. Marty in here saying, have a great day, Norm. Don't forget to eat and have coffee. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. To everybody who joined today, thank you. Sorry the stream has to end, but we will definitely do another stream real soon. And I'm going to try and mask them a little bit. We got more little ones back there. So it's super early for them to be heading to school. That is insane. Why are they heading to school at 7 a.m.? But before the streets fill with them and I don't know where to point the camera anymore, we're gonna wrap this one up. Thank you to everybody. I will see you down in the comments when it wraps up. Hope the rest of your day is beautiful, and I will see you again real soon. Bye, guys. Fake ending, and you really thought it was gonna end. See, it's the thing that we do here. You think it's gonna end, and then it doesn't end. And then I walk over. The water wheel has stopped, guys. Something's going on. It feels uncomfortable and weird. It's just rocking back and forth slowly. What's going on? And there's like a billion kids walking down this street. I have no idea where they came from. And this guy's just rocketing down here. Oh, he's got an epic beard. Oh, nice, man. Oh, careful. Don't get squished. He's traffic safety. He is traffic safety. Also, guys, definitely go back and check out the live stream from Kagurazaka. That was a fun one. Again, it starts with a story of I want to grab it and spin it like the wheel of fortune. It's so uncomfortable that it stopped. Like I'm out of place and unhappy. I don't like it. Spin. Go, disperse water, do your thing. Go and check out the live stream from Kagurazaka. That one was a ton of fun. So if you haven't caught that one, you can continue today's adventure by doing that. You might even find some new YouTube channels along the way. The real ending of the stream, it's rarely ever announced. More often than not, it just happens kind of suddenly. I'm kidding. What? Oh, it says hydrant. I was like, what does it say? It obviously says hydrant. Why wouldn't it say hydrant? It's a hydrant. And again, you can see my shadow there. $10 to spin it. I want to spin it. Like, I would do it for free, to be honest. But I'm not going to do it. I really want to, but I also don't want to, there's that 1% chance, that me putting my hand on it could break it. And that 1% is far too big for me. And so instead, I think that, you thought it was over again. More often than not, that's actually typically how it goes. They were just walking along 1 second, and the next second the